And so we have made it. The last video of tier list week. I was thinking about it over the past couple of days, and I think that this is just going to be a normal thing on the channel where like the first week of April we just do tier list week on the channel. I think that'd be cool. Hopefully I don't forget by next year, but I do think that'd be kind of fun. You know, once a year we just do 7 tier lists in a row and see how things change throughout the years. But other than that, uh, today is the final one. This was another suggestion that was picked out by the wheel at random, and it is how likely are each survivor to BM. Now, the last time I did a video like this, it was the which P100 survivors scare me the most. And guys, y'all do know that these videos are jokes, right? Like, you do know this is nothing serious. Like, if I put your main in the actually toxic category, that doesn't mean you yourself are toxic. You guys do not need to take what I say about the mains of the people who play this game as personal attacks. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. All right. I promise you, I'm not personally attacking you. This is a joke based off silly haha stereotypes. We do not need to logistically break down. We don't need to logistically break down, you know, whether or not I'm factually incorrect. I'm factually incorrect about all of these because every individual on the planet is a person, an individual person. And just because they play a character in a video game, it does not mean that they automatically act like a certain way. Okay? All right. Are we good? We good? All right, let's get started. So, for our tiers today, we have Actually Toxic. Actually Toxic is it's those survivors who they teabag at the exit gates, they teabag on hatch, they do the gesture and the point thing to show you how much better they are than you. Every single moment of the match is just look at me, I'm shitting all over the killer. Fuck you, shitty killer. Like every single match, all match long. That's all they fucking do. They flashlight click constantly. They'll flash bang you and teabag. It's ridiculous. Then we have BMs at least once every game. These are the people who like to throw in a BM, once in a while, just to remind you that they're not quite as bad as toxic, but they're a little toxic. Then we have BMs only in good fun. These are the people who will like BM after a pallet stun or something. They'll teabag a couple times before running away, or they'll try to get your attention by teabagging. So they'll be like, no, don't chase them, chase me. Haha, come on, let's have some fun. Like those are it's those kind of people. Then we have will BM if you BM first. I'm actually personally like this. That's not true. I'm BMs only in good fun. But these are the kind of people who will wait until you give them energy and then they return that energy, right? Oh, you hit me on hook? Well, now I'm going to teabag you at the exit gates. You know, that kind of thing. And then we have Wholesome Cinnamon Roll, who could not even fathom teabagging anybody. They couldn't fathom it. Let's get started. First up, we got Dwight. Dwights are actually toxic. You know, for a bunch of people who are really dog shit at this game, Dwight mains are really gigantic assholes, bro. They get so little wins and they win so little chases that every time they do anything even like remotely good, they're like, haha, fuck you, I'm better than you, haha. And then they post a screen cap on Twitter and they're like, haha, beat this shitty killer main, bro. They're just really fucking weird. Meg mains will BM at every game at least once. There'll be at least one time where they'll be like they'll fucking like flashlight click you, try to get you to chase them so they can sprint burst into a wall. They're just like very awful people, to be honest with you. They're both bad at the game, and now, awful people's kind of cruel. They're not awful people, but they are really annoying. They're annoying. That's a good way to put it. Megs are annoying. Next up, we have Claudette mains. Claudette mains are Wholesome Cinnamon Rolls. Claudette mains will not BM you. Claudette mains want to get the job done. They want to help their teammates, and they want to get the fuck out of the game. They do not have time for all of your antics. And if you BM them, they're the type of person that just says GG's in the end chat and goes next. Next up is Jake mains. Jake mains are also Wholesome Cinnamon Rolls. Jake mains are Jake Mainzer do the same thing. They type GG's in the end game no matter what happens. They don't flame you. They don't worry about it. They just like, if they see you're a TTV, they'll even come in and follow you and be like, hey, man, good shit. I'm glad, you won the game. Happy for you. They move on. Next up is Nay. Nay mains watch entirely too much JRM. They watch entirely too much JRM, and they will remind you at every single solitary moment about some stupid tech that they learned from a JRM video. You're not even paying attention. You're fucking watching a podcast on your second monitor, and then you get spun, and you're like, what the fuck? And then they're like, ha ha ha, I spun you, bitch, ha ha ha, and they run off into the distance. Next up are Lori's. Lori's will Lori's BM only in good fun. They're only trying to make the match a little bit more interesting. They're not trying to like do anything like intense, to piss you off. They're trying to get your attention, trying to get you to bring them on chases, stuff like that. Ace mains are incredibly fucking toxic. If it's a Mad Hatter Ace, you're in for like the most toxic game you've ever played in your fucking life. Like Ace mains will teabag after every pallet stun. They'll teabag after every pre-drop. They'll teabag at the gates. They'll teabag on hatch. They'll teabag their teammates. They'll flashlight click you. They'll sit there and purposely try to like fucking lead you in front of lockers so that their friends can head on spam you. Yeah, it's not lead you in front of lockers so they get one head on. No. Lead you in front of lockers so they can head on spam you. You know what I mean. Bills are wholesome cinnamon rolls. Bills will never tell you one bad thing ever. They'll GG's go next. Bills go out of their, like I said back in my other tier list, Bills go out of their way to save their teammates, and they'll go out of their way to make sure that you don't feel bad about anything that happened in the game. They just want you to have a good time. Moving on. Next up are Davids. Davids will BM at least once a game. Davids are very addicted to their dead hard. So when they dead hard you, they'll make sure to teabag you right before they take off running with their dead hard. But they're not like atrociously bad. When I say at least once, every game at least once, that can mean anywhere from, one single time, 1 or 2 times to upwards of like 6 times. And Davids are at that 1 or 2 time mark, I think. Next up are Quintons. Quintons will only BM you if you BM them first. Look, Quintons are already fucking depressed from their lack of cosmetics. All right, they don't. Quintons already are very sad that their character has never gotten any love from behavior, so they're not in the mood to like make everybody else feel as miserable as they are. They just want to log on, play the fucking game, and get off, dude. They don't. But if you poke the bear, they'll make sure to show you who you're fucking with, because Quintons have a lot of dedication to be maining a character that has no goddamn cosmetics. Okay, they have a lot of dedication and they are not fucking around. Do not poke the bear. Next up is Tap. Taps will BM if you BM them first. Tap players are normally just kind of like, first off, Tap players are a rare breed, but most of the time, Tap players are those kind of people who are like, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay, and I would rather you not, but if you're going to, Next up are Kate players. Kate players will BM you every game at least once. Kate players are very arrogant in their plays, and so every successful play they'll have to BM you. But they'll most of the time, when it comes to like the exit gates or something, they'll just leave. If they find hatch first, they'll just jump in. They're not gonna BM you at the they're not gonna be sore winners. But they will celebrate their victories in chase. Next up are Adams. Adams BM only in good fun. They don't mean anything by it. They just want you to take them on a couple chases, and occasionally they want to celebrate a very good play. So they're not trying to be mean to you or anything. They're just having fun. Jeff Mains will BM in good fun. Actually, I feel like Jeff Mains BM if you BM first. You know, Jeff Mains will, oh, you hit me on hook when I'm going to teabag you after I blind you. You know, something like that. But they're, generally speaking, Jeff Mains are just like Tap Mains and Quinton Mains, bro. They just want to log on and play the game. They don't want to fight with you. They don't want to argue with you. They just want to log on, play the game, and get off. You know what I mean? Next up are Jane Mains. Jane Mains BM only in good fun. I think for Janes, they just, they really just love to have fun. They're also probably just like pretending to shake that gigantic ass of hers. That's really what they're doing. They're just trying to they're trying to twerk on you is what they're doing. That's the point of the BM. They're trying to twerk on you. Just try not to play. Just try to play with both hands when you're playing against a Jane. That's all I'm saying. Next up, we've got Ash. Ashes are actually some toxic ass motherfuckers, bro. I don't know what it is about Ash Williams, but Ash players are fucking jackasses. They'll teabag you at every opportunity. They go the extra mile, bro. They start gesturing, they'll teabag, then point, then do the come here fucking motion. If emotes ever came to this game, Ash players would be the equivalent of Fortnite emoting on your dead body. Like they would. Ash players would fucking just every single chase, they'd pallet stun you and then immediately fucking emote, bro. They are just assholes. Next up are Nancy's. Nancy's will BM every game at least once. Nancy's got something to prove. Nancy's got something to prove. They'll BM every game at least once. Steve's are the exact same way. They'll BM every game at least once. I think I like a lot of Steve mains are just like meme lords. And so they need the BM so that they could do their 5-minute YouTube video where they just sit there and meme on killers all fucking day. That's definitely how Steve's are. Next up, we've got Yui's. Yui's will BM. Yui's will BM if you BM first. If you poke the Yui, then the Yui will BM back. But most of the time, Yui's are just kind of like juicers who have a lot of fun doing chases, and they're not really trying to be toxic or anything. They just would rather take the chase. So don't do it first and they won't do it back. Zarenas are wholesome cinnamon rolls. Zarenas do not BM. Zarenas want to get in and out. Zarenas want to play the game, have a good time. They want everybody else to have a good time. And they're not really in the mood to BM or anything like that. They don't want to bring any negative energy into their space. Cheryl's BM only in good fun. I think most Cheryls are really under the. Actually, Cheryl's will BM if you BM first. Cheryl's are chill people. They don't want to have any trouble. But if you're gonna bring trouble, they'll bring trouble back. Now Felix's are actually toxic. Felix's are very, very arrogant players. They are extremely annoying. They're the ones that will always be right behind you with a flashlight. And God forbid they get that flashlight save off for once in their fucking lives, bro, because they will celebrate that from the high heavens, dude. Holy shit. Next up are Elodie's. Elodie's BM in good fun. Elodie's they like to they like to have a little banter back and forth with you. They want you to come chase them. If you down them, then they'll Elodie's are the kinds that'll deliverance in your face and then teabag in front of the hook just for you to down them again. That's the kind of players Elodie's are. Next up are Yoon Jin's. Now, despite Yoon Jin's actual personality, most Yoon Jin's mains I've ever met will only BM you if you BM them first. So that's something to be said. Jill players will BM at least once every single game. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Leon mains are actually toxic. They're the worst players in the game by far, but they will not stop at anything to remind you that they beat you finally. Like 10 games in a row, they just couldn't do shit. But it's one time they pallet stunned you. That's it, bro. That's it for the rest of the fucking match, dog. Next up are Michaela's. Michaela's BM only in good fun. Michaela's are troll players. They like to put their boons and then as soon as you stomp them out, they'll go back and put another one and then they'll try to teabag in your field of view, but just too far out of reach just to be like, haha, I got another boon, you motherfucker. And then they'll move on with their lives. Jonah's will BM only in good fun. I think we all know that one. Yuichi's are wholesome cinnamon rolls. I've never seen a Yuichi BM in my life. Yuichis are good. Hattie's will BM only if you BM first. They're just trying to play their game, man. Hattie's are just trying to enjoy their character. They love Hattie. She's beautiful. She's fun. They like playing her. They don't want to BM, man. But if you're gonna do it, I mean, we might as well, right? Autas will BM at least once every game. I think it's the Resident Evil. Honestly, I think Resident Evil just kind of brings out the BM in people. So yeah, Autas will BM at least once every game. Now that rule actually doesn't apply to Rebecca's. I think Rebecca's only BM in good fun. I think Becca's are only Becca's are just trying to have good chases, and they'll reassurance, and then when you turn around to see who reassurance, they'll do a couple of quick teabags before running off, and it's just silly and goofy, and there's no harm by it. It's just fun. Vittorio's will BM you if you BM them first. Vittorio's just play the character because he looks really cool, and they like the whole modern fantasy aesthetic that he's got going on. They're not trying to be mean, but they'll dish out what you put. They'll dish out what you put in. Thalitas are wholesome cinnamon rolls. Never seen a Thalita BM. Neither are Renato. Both of these types of players just generally are having a good time. And they're not trying to do anything. They want you to have a good time. They want to have a good time. No need to bring the mood down. Gabriel's are wholesome cinnamon rolls as well. Gabriel's typically don't BM if they don't have to. They don't BM at all. They don't BM at all. I've never seen a Gabriel BM. Yeah. Nicolas Cage's will BM in good fun. Nicolas Cage's, they embody the Nick Cage attitude. They're just trying to have some laughs and do some stupid, absurd shit. And all the BMs are just in the spirit of having a good time, Ripley's will BM if you BM first. Ripley's they match energies. They really like the Alien movies, and that's why they're playing her. No other reason. So there's no need for toxicity. But if you got it. Alan players are wholesome cinnamon rolls. Just like Alan himself. They play Alan because they love how nice he is to people. And that's just the God honest truth. And then Sables will BM at least once every game. Because especially if they get their invocation off, they got to let you know that you left them alone for 2 full minutes in the basement. They got to let you know. They have to. Yeah. So that's everything I have for tier list week, guys. I'm sorry that the last few tier lists were a little bit shorter. I'm actually kind of thinking about reversing the order. Yeah. So you guys, okay, I'm going to go ahead and say that you guys are going to see this video on the Monday. So for the rest of the week, ignore when I say this is day blank of whatever tier list. Because I think I want to organize them in like shortest to longest. With the longest being on the Saturday and the second longest being on the Sunday. I think that's how I want to organize them. So, yeah. So you guys will probably see this video first. If you do, I'm sorry for the confusion. But other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. As always, a great big special thank you to our channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, then please click that join button down below. Love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.